Welcome back, folks, and I just wanted to say this. Have any of you played Hollow Knight Silksong? If so, what was your experience? Is it true what Journal says? Is it really too difficult? And yes, if you saw the gameplay footage that I put in this video, that I lost a lot of time in Hollow Knight Silksong, yes, I suck. Thank you for noticing.
Hollow Knight Silksong is an absolute masterpiece that is definitely in the Game of the Year running for 2025, and we knew that when they had said it was going to release 2 weeks after their official announcement, there were going to be some meltdowns in the industry. There are reviewers who were not able to get codes early, who were not able to play the game early. We knew that it was going to have a difficulty spike, but we now know that there are journalists who, of course, are melting down over this title.
Now, for the record, I think when I start playing it, I believe I've lost 3 times in the first area, but hey, I'm still working on it, okay? But you know what they say? Get good. I don't know if this is a running joke or anything, folks. Although, I won't be finishing it soon because I had to finish Lost Soulside first. Once I finish Lost Soulside, I will move on to Hollow Knight.
You would think people whose job it is to review games would get better at them. You would think that after playing multiple Metroidvanias or Souls-likes or even strategy games that they would develop skills, but it's like in one ear and out the other with these people, and every time a slightly tough game comes around, there are going to be those that complain. Now,
there is also another thing. I don't know if Verda is going to mention this. Some people complain, or in this case, some people claim that there are times where reviewers from journalists, they give someone who doesn't like this kind of genre, okay? Why give someone who likes RPG a Sims game or, a Sims game or a building sim, something like that? When it comes to an RPG, you give someone who likes a Sims game or a cozy game that don't like, say, Souls game or maybe JRPG? Or better yet, why give a horror game someone who is afraid of, I don't know, spiders or even zombies?
If you're an average gamer and you think that this game is too hard and you don't want to play it, I don't blame you. But when we are talking about people whose job it is to review games and play them, and they're supposed to have this knowledge base, and then they say either I gave up or oh boo-hoo, it's too tough. Well, I view that very differently because they're getting paid to play these games. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And in the case of several outlets, specifically VGC and Game Cult, they are freaking out over this game's difficulty. And well, I can't say I'm shocked. These people don't really know how to play games, and they don't care about learning mechanics and strategies, and they don't really have that passion for video games, which is why I don't trust them anymore and why so many other people don't either. So it says Silksong's review,
Nobody does.
A game that intends to make you suffer even to its own detriment. When a game doesn't have a story mode or a journo mode in a game, they always tend to trash it. And there are a lot of outlets right now who are saying Silksong is amazing and it's basically a 10 out of 10, but there are always going to be those individuals who are salty over the fact that, oh my gosh, they have to learn how to play the game. They can't just press skip boss fight like in, I don't know, South of Midnight. It says, though, Hollow Knight Silksong has had a unique journey on its way to release, thanks to the perfect storm of its status as a follow-up to an indie darling, its 7-year development cycle, and a fan base that grew increasingly rabid with every passing year's absence. The 7 years of creation and refinement are immediately clear upon just looking at the game's art design. The world of Farloom is absolutely stunning. Team Cherry has built upon the haunting beauty of Hallow Nest by expanding outwards into a biome-spanning spectrum of color palettes and tones. I think they did such a phenomenal job on basically everything in this game. Now, I haven't finished it yet. I've been live streaming a playthrough on the channel, and I had to stop to play Borderlands 4 because I guess I hate myself, but...
Well, sorry about you had to see that, but I just got past the first boss, and I'm currently on the, I don't know if the next one is called a mini boss or something else, I don't know, but I'm gonna keep playing it, okay? Although I have to finish Lost Soul Aside, and I'm already chapter 4. I don't know how long I'm going to finish it because I don't know. Something I had to tell you that I've been busy lately because I'm going to be moving my setup to my grandparents' house. Hopefully there's enough setup in case of this thing. Although I still gonna need to use the green screen, the background removal stuff. What I do is simple. If I can't finish it or lost a lot of time, what I do is simple. Stop playing the game, play something else, and come back again.
I think that this game is phenomenal. Is it better than Expedition 33? In my opinion, no. That's still my game of the
Mhm.
year. But this game truly has everything that we wanted and more. If you are a Hollow Knight fan, or not even a Hollow Knight fan, you are going to find this game extremely impressive. Scrolling down a bit, it says, what of the much discussed difficulty? Some examples of the game's punishing difficulty, like the imposing Last Judge and graceful Cogwork Dancer bosses, feel like fair challenges of mechanical skill and memorization, putting your grasp of Hornet's movement and reaction to bosses' learned attack patterns to the test. Others, such as enemy contact, almost every attack and most environmental hazards dealing 2 masks of damage. Hornet starts with only 5 precious masks of life,
That's
alongside the
true.
arduous, several minute long runbacks to several bosses due to cruel bench placements, are closer to making the player suffer just for the sake of living up to the Souls-like experience. And yes, I do think that some games are supposed to be insanely tough and they're supposed to have moments of very annoying situations. A lot of the runbacks in this game do remind me of Dark Souls 2, and I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. The first game was definitely pretty easy in the first half, and I would say that this difficulty that Silksong starts out with is comparable to the end of Hollow Knight, but even so, that's just the natural progression of things. They expect after 7 years, you as a gamer have matured, you've learned to play video games a little bit differently, maybe you've played Hollow Knight a couple of times. Now, they expect you to have grown in that time, so they also wanted to make a more grown experience.
Well, that could be a good start. But then again, don't forget, this is journalists we're talking about. I have a feeling that whoever complained about this difficulty never get it past halfway. If they do, they lost a lot of time, or about 50 times. How many times have you failed in Hollow Knight Silksong? Doesn't matter where it is. How many times? Again, like I said, I will finish Lost Soul Site first, and then I will finish Hollow Knight. And I can't live stream it because I don't know what happened. My OBS crashed. And with my internet having a much problem, I think it's since 2 days ago or something, it frequently crash or something. I have no idea what happened.
Tougher experience. It's not our fault that these video game journalists are too busy playing very easy games and sitting and playing Candy Crushes all day. What worsens this is the nature of most encounters as sheer endurance tests. Rarely is Silksong actually testing your skills, it's testing your patience. It says, though, very few of the combat challenges in Silksong are short, frenetic engagements. Instead, they're drawn-out battles of attrition due to the increasingly high health of bosses and elite enemies alike, the latter of which you'll frequently find yourself trapped in a gauntlet fighting several waves of. And yeah, I do personally find the gauntlets really annoying and really tough.
That's right.
But at the
Me
same
too.
time,
I would
once
agree.
you complete them and once you figured out the strategy to them, it is so rewarding. It is such a amazing experience.
That's
And
right.
to sit here and give this game only a 3 out of 5 stars because of that is insanity to me. We also have this French outlet saying Hollow Knight Silksong, a sequel that goes silky. To say that Silksong was expected is an understatement. Its arrival last Thursday triggered a real cataclysm, both for other indies and for stores that have had a hard time holding on in the face of the influx of impatient players. It talks, though, about how there were even journalists in panic, looking to get their tests out as quickly as possible. Yeah, we know that there are a lot of journalists out there who were really upset by the fact that they didn't get these early codes, and I don't want to say that all of them took that into account.
What I'm about to say may be irrelevant, but I have to put it in. I don't know if you know about the gaming Let's Play genre. The gaming Let's Play genre is all but gone, okay? Many people who just do gaming Let's Plays just for fun or anything, you wanna know how they do it now? They got early access. Here, let me give you one creator for example, the Rat Brad. He played Dynasty Warrior Origin 1 week before release. That is what's called early access, okay? I think that was when the embargo lifted, I think. Because when you have early access, okay, let's just say everyone got early access, they probably want to play, they want to record, and then they want to post it just either weeks or maybe days before the release date. And after the release date, the trend or the viewership declines. That is the problem.
Their reviews, because again, there are a lot of outlets giving this basically 10 out of 10s, but there are quite a few that are saying, oh, boo-hoo, we didn't get to review it early. We even saw that happen with Borderlands 4. PC Gamer had complained that, oh, they didn't get a review code early, and they are one of the major outlets right now who are going after Borderlands 4 performance problems. It's very funny to see these people either ignore performance issues to give a game a higher score because they were given early access by a company, and also the outlets who were not given codes and all this early access, and then they attack games. So it says Silksong is much less easy than its predecessor, Ooh Boo-Hoo Cry Me a River and Float Upstream. It features more fights and some are really tough, and it's not so much due to intense fights, even if there are some bosses with interesting and stimulating patterns that we enjoy beating despite the frustration. No, what makes the game difficult is the number of enemies whose hits make you 2 hit points. While there are only 5 at the beginning of the game, the arenas with incessant waves of monsters to kill you for the certain bosses, the ubiquitous PV bags, or the traps that Team Cherry took great pleasure in hiding here and there. Even some platforming phases are quite challenging, leaving too little room for mistakes. So I think that it's funny, right, that they're sitting here and they're talking about how, well, this isn't going to be for everyone, and there are some players who are, very upset with this. As a result, what was supposed to be a pleasant and poetic experience with a touch of challenge turns into a real torrent of frustration. I completely disagree. I never thought that Silksong was going to be a walk in the park, and I don't really think that anyone else expected that either. I don't think that these people have actually played Hollow Knight, the first one. I don't think that they actually really cared about playing Silksong for the continuation of the story and this world, and because they enjoyed the initial experience, I think that they're just jumping on the bandwagon because they saw an opportunity to write an article, put out a review, and ultimately make a couple of dollars, which is really sad to me because this game deserves way more praise than it's getting from some of these people. And luckily, there are a lot of gamers who are saying it is basically perfection, right? Based on 20 critic reviews on Metacritic, it's sitting at a 92. And I think that it's going to drop a little bit once other critics are actually completing it and reviewing it, but the user score with over 3,500 is sitting at a 9. Now, I still think my game of the year is Expedition 33, just because that has such a narrative-rich experience, and I thought it was phenomenal from top to bottom. I don't think there's anything that I disliked.
We're gonna have to wait until December. And look, VGC give us 60. Unbelievable. Let me tell you this. Here's the thing. Do I know how many times I lost in Wu Chang Fallen Feathers? It's probably 20 times, Because, to be honest with you, I'm still new to this whole Souls-like genre. Well, Vladimir Wukong introduced it to me. And even if I have, let's say an easy mode, I feel like I was playing on hard mode. I'm not joking, folks. I feel like I was playing on hard mode. Now for save point, like the benches and all that, it's a minor criticism, but they could at least put them not closer, but at least just in a straight line forward. Not too close, okay? Sometimes we have to make sure. There are times where save point can be too far, let's say from the boss fight, because every boss fight, before you enter one, there will be a save point. That's just a little minor criticism for me. And another one is, of course, maps or something, but this one I don't think need to be touched. In Expedition 33, my main criticism for that is when you enter a certain area, they don't give you a mini-map or an access to a map. I mean, I don't think there is one. I mean, yes, when you exit the certain area, there will be a map. To be honest, after that, there's no map. I will finish Lost Solo Site first, and then I will continue with Hollow Knight Silksong. And I have to say, it runs smoothly, with my laptop here, runs smoothly. I don't know how many FPS, I'm gonna have to recheck again. I need to test it out. And the first boss, sometimes when you lost one or more than once, you tend to learn things. Leave a like and subscribe if you want woke or anti-woke detected, or you just want to see me play games, or perhaps you like trending topics. Visit my second, third, and fourth channel up here or link in the description.